Gravity.
We're not debating it, okay? You're acknowledging a fucktard. Just ignore the fucktard and it'll go away.
Do not God. Who are you anyway? What a odd name. Do not God.
Yeah, well, whatever. You know who I am? I'm the guy with a big
name.
I'm with a big fucking foot that's gonna go right up your ass now. See? Watch this. Boom. Right up your ass.
I feel better already.
How's everybody doing?
Boom. Took care of him too. In his own language. It's a woman's in the room. I can tell it's a woman's. Yes, I can tell. Yes.
I just don't understand why it seems like it's so far-fetched that we can actually find an alternative besides using crude oil, spending all that money to have it shipped in, and then to refine it ourselves.
Redundant. I want to change your name to Redundo. Oh, God. You just don't get it, do you? Oil was pouring out of the fucking pores of the earth. We didn't even have to dig a hole. It was pouring out of the fucking earth, okay? That made life easy. It's hard when you use it all up and then you have to dig deeper and deeper to get it. Then it's more work. You see, your workers have to now work. They can't just scoop it up with a bucket. You get that? And that extra labor is a tax on your lifestyle. Get it? More worky, less funny.
I understand that completely, but when we can use air, water, wind,
yes, that requires investment in the future. We do not invest in the future. We mortgage the future. All right, don't you get how the system works? We are $6 trillion zillion in fucking debt. Okay, who's going to invest in 20 years from now? No one.
Most wind farms require more energy than they actually output to produce. If you want to talk about energy that comes from solar panels, well, it takes a lot of resources to make a solar panel, and you don't get returns for a very fucking long time. A very long time. The problem is it's not cost effective for us to use these alternative resources at the moment. I mean, a lot of people are suggesting corn, but corn is not sustainable. We don't have enough fucking corn to move away from oil.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question. Let me just ask this very quick question. Do you think that they cannot make a car that runs on water? Yes or no? Do you think that they can't, or they haven't already?
No, you can't run anything on water, moron. Okay, you can't fucking do it. There's no fucking energy in fucking goddamn water unless you want to fucking goddamn split some fucking atoms. Okay? Not gonna happen. A nuclear water, heavy water.
Well, it seems like people are just indulging into this.
Look, look, the sun. Look, understand solar energy, okay? Oil was made over 1 billion years, right? 1 billion fucking years of solar energy. That's what oil is. 1 billion fucking years of it fucking hitting this Earth's surface. Alright? That's what oil is. Alright? And you're talking about like, oh, seasonally how much sun hits the Earth's surface, okay? It's not enough. We can't collect it efficiently enough in the little dribbles that we can collect it in. So you're not appreciating how few calories or whatever the right term is we can actually glean in kinetic solar energy. It is stored solar energy. Batteries, okay? Oil is basically a giant battery that was getting charged for 1 billion years. It was on the charger for 1 billion fucking years. That's hard to replace.
If you could have satellites that collect the solar energy outside of the atmosphere.
Right. How much does it cost? How much does it cost to lift 10 pounds to sustain gravity above the Earth? Figure out how much energy it takes to take 10 pounds and put it in space. And then figure out the fact that we have so much junk in space now that no matter what we put up there, it gets shot to pieces by our own fucking junk.
Well, this
Yeah, we
whole
got so
thing
much
just
junk up
smacks
there
of...
already. Why don't we make that solar stuff, solar junk?
Well, I'm just, that's a funny joke, but you know how big space is? There's a lot of space up there. You want to go up there and try to be the garbage man? Oh yeah, I'll go up there with my little stick and I'll pick up the junk. You ain't going to be able to do it. We have to send robots up there, and it's going to take them decades. We could send robots up into space, satellites, and they could collect the fucking junk, and it's going to take them decades to make that place safe for anything. Okay? I mean, they were afraid to fix the Hubble because of the real risk, the 1 in 3 chance that somebody was going to get fatally killed.
What you're talking about
Gary,
is
let me
called
just
a
give this
Dyson
hypothetical
sphere.
very, very quickly, and I'll give this hypothetical to everybody. Let's just say that the Middle East decided to say, hey, fuck you, everybody else in the world, not just the United States, everybody. India, China, Russia, everybody. Hey, fuck you, we're not going to fucking export any more of our natural resources, our fossil fuels, our oil, basically what it is.
Cutter, cruise
You guys are all
daisy
fucked.
cutter,
Are you telling me
cruise
right now
missile,
that
daisy
the...
cutter.
Daisy cutter, cruise missile, daisy cutter.
No, it's not. I'm actually just asking a serious question. Let's just say that that happened. Do you think that the United States would collapse, or would you think we would
No, the
find an
United
alternative
States would
to
build
run our
cruise
machines?
missiles, okay? The United States would build cruise missiles, and whatever Arab guy was saying that would be a fucking incinerated. Come on. We're not going to let them... We're not going to let them turn the tap off. No fucking way. Well, they're lying about what they got left anyway. They're lying through their fucking teeth, okay? Iran is still saying it's got the biggest reserves in the world, and they got shit. They've invested more in... They have more hydroelectric plants in Iran, percentage of their electricity, than we have here. Okay? They're investing in hydroelectric because they know the oil game's over.
The oil game's over, and they're just spinning the plates like some old vaudeville act. Oh, let's spin the plates. Oh, there's one about to topple. Let's go spin that one. You know, sooner or later, these plates are going to fall off the sticks, and they're going to fall to the floor, and the game will be
Right,
over.
well, can you guys enlighten me and tell me what the new game is then, please?
Well, if there was an easy solution, we probably would have already implemented it, wouldn't we? But to address what Devin's Will said, what you're speaking of is called a Dyson sphere. And a Dyson sphere is something which is rather excellent to think about. I mean, essentially you're creating free energy. But the problem, again, would be implementation. How exactly would we go about creating the Dyson sphere here on Earth or on a satellite like the moon or another planet? It would be very difficult not just to send these satellites into space, but also collect energy from them. There's a lot of logistical problems which would come about through creating a Dyson sphere or a Dyson bubble or a Dyson swarm.
But sending the energy through our atmosphere is going to be a big fucking problem. But let's not even get through all that. Okay, go ahead, Pyro.
I was just saying that they're moving into solar in other ways. I was just reading about, only this was, I think, in northern Africa, but the same thing. The deserts are going to be great for these huge solar farms, and they've got a way with, what's it called, high voltage DC current, where they only lose like 10% instead of like 60% over long distances, and they're going to collect the solar energy, which they don't do photovoltaic. They collect the sun and boil into these huge boilers, and then they're planning to ship it all the way to Europe via these high voltage DC lines.
Yeah, well, the problem is that the DC lines, okay, now we're back to the metals problem again, because it's going to take a lot of aluminum. You know, high voltage DC, you talking thick motherfucking wires. Like Alaska
That's
pipeline thick. You know, I mean, really thick fuckers.
Yeah, I don't understand why you'd want to go DC over AC, since AC loses a lot less energy over long distance transmission. I don't really get the DC angle, but I'm sure there is one.
Yeah, no, it does lose less, but like I said, you have to have a gigantic conductor. you can't have any resistance. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so the conductors, if the conductor is large enough, you'll lose less. But you have to have a large conductor. Something like that.
Well, as far as alternative energy, and I'm not a great believer in it as a panacea, but I like what New Zealand is doing between the North and South Island. They've got a major tidal project going on. I'm getting some big echo here from Gary. Can't criticize the host. Anyway, between North and South New Zealand, they've got a major tidal project going on, and it's the pilot project is producing some very promising results, and it's kind of like wind turbines underwater. I don't know if you know, but between North and South New Zealand, they've got huge currents. I don't know, something like 10 knots, something like what you get under the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Anyway, so, you know, there are means, but I'm not sure how much I want to expand on this.
Yeah, but how long does it take before it pays off? And what's your upkeep bill? I mean, that's the problem with the wind generators, because the turbines are inaccessible. So you got to have these skilled guys willing to go way the fuck up there to fix these rinky-dink things. Who the fuck's going to want to go into the middle of the fucking ocean and down into a turbine and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I think it's complicated, too. So I'm not against it. I'm just saying I just don't know whether it's all that cost-effective even over the long term compared to...
That raises the question that I was bringing up earlier. I mean, you know... It's
geothermal...
Right, I mean, it's going to be, I mean, we have options where we can say, okay, listen, we can have some pneumatic power, we can have hydropower, we can have all these, you know, fission is old school, dude. Fission is like 1930s and 40s.
Well, don't argue this again. Fusion. We already did this fucking bullshit, all right? We're not going to talk about your pipe dreams, all right? Because that's all it is. It's a fucking pipe dream that's been around for 100 fucking years, and it's still a pipe dream.
Anyway, before it gets too stale in the conversation, I want to respond to what Gary said about maintenance. Yeah, you're right. I mean, just the maintenance of these windmills, these GE turbines. I mean, Piro, I don't know what island Piro lives on in Hawaii, but in Maui, they've got a major wind project in what's called the Saddle. It's in the middle of the Haleakala and whatever the northernmost island is. They've got all these wind turbines there, and it's doing quite well as far as I understand it, but you got to have somebody run up, you know, 300 feet, service the damn thing, and the generators and the transformers and all the switch gear and etc. needs constant maintenance, and it doesn't last forever. So, and doubly so for anything related to tidal. I mean, as we all know, anything related to, you know, anything that contacts seawater corrodes in the extreme. So,
well, I'm just saying. See, my argument would be is that this is something the scientists should really detail out. But all of this stuff is still, we're talking about 10% of the payback power of oil at its current prices. Okay, so I mean, oil at its current prices is still 10 times more bang for your buck than all of these things. But I'm saying if we are going to invest the money, the place to do it is the things that really, I mean, really go, you know, really long term. And that's where you get into this geothermal crap and stuff, because you can put that hardware in place and it'll last for 100 fucking years. All right, and it doesn't need any maintenance. It doesn't need shit. And so those are the kind of things we should be building into the structure of things. I mean, every new house should be built with that. I mean, it should be part of the fucking, you know, what you do when you build the house is you sink a few pipes, you know, 20 feet down.
Oh, and whoever said that, oh yeah, we haven't been able, you know, testing salt water. We have machines right now that run on salinity and solenoids and other shit that actually harnesses the power of salt water.
Oh,
that produces...
Shut up!
Well, it's true!
Shut up! Shut up! No, it isn't true! There's no fucking power in salt water, you idiot! God, harness the power of salt water. Why, yeah, I'll pour you a cup of piss. And let's see what you can do with it. Let me see you run your car on that.
Have huge
I guess it doesn't
solar
afford. I mean, the salinity
I'm not saying salt water itself. I'm saying from the oceans, like the Atlantic, Pacific, Terrific.
Why do you get to go every other time?